Hey guys, Grifton here, and today we are doing the Feral Loot list for Phase 3. That's going to include Black Temple and Mount Hyjal. Sorry I put this off, but it's been a busy week with the PTR and the Phase 2 nerfs and the holidays in the way. So there are a few things I want to discuss before we begin regarding the loot, because there are some unique features to some of this gear I want to get out of the way. Keep in mind, these are my opinions and you're welcome to disagree with me. Okay, first, there is haste gear now. So you're going to start seeing gear with haste on it. Now, if you go back to the days of Classic Vanilla, haste was your bread and butter, though it was referred to as attack speed. Literally farming those malls all day so you could increase the attack speed. Now, in TBC, haste isn't that big of a deal for Bear because we aren't relying on our auto attack anymore. We have buttons to press, mangle, swipe, lacerate. So I'm skewing away from haste. If you want to go down that haste route, let me know how it goes. I'd love to hear your experience, especially if you are a feral DPS purely and you decide to do the haste thing. Okay, second is armor penetration. So it's not called that officially yet, but you'll start seeing gear with things like your attacks ignore X of your opponent's armor. And this stat can be great for all physical damage dealers. However, in order for it to become great, you need a lot of it. The first off pieces will likely go to the hunters and the rogues. Take them when you can, but I wouldn't put them as high prio or bis for yourself. Just try to get them. Again, feel free to disagree with me and do your own thing. Let me know if it works out. I have no shame in being wrong. Okay, and third, this one's pretty familiar by now, tier gear. I like to just get it out of the way. You will want tier gear in Phase 3. I'm going to put that out there now so we don't have to address it for each piece. Now there are 5 pieces of tier gear in Phase 3, and Phase 5 there will be 3 pieces, giving a total of 8 pieces for one set. This will allow for more flexibility if you want to swap out tier and still get the set bonuses, but we have a while before that's a concern. The set bonuses for our tier gear are pretty solid though, for both the 2 and the 4 set bonus. So you'll likely be wearing the full set or maybe 4 piece with expertise gloves. Now keep in mind, you will be wearing this for a long time because you've got Phase 3 now, Phase 4 is ZA, and Phase 5 will also include tier 6. So don't skimp on your gems, don't skimp on your enchants, get the best you can. As I discussed in my other video, tier is now being shared with mages and rogues. So as a tank, you should be top prio. Of course, that's going to vary from guild to guild. Okay, that out of the way, let's actually get into the gear. So first, we got Rage Winter Chill. Deadly Cuffs, 2 stars. Now, PvP risks and the Insidious bands from Terran are better, but if you're still rocking the old bracers, this is likely a nice non-bis upgrade. I wouldn't put too much effort into trying to get it though. 2 stars. And that's it for Rage. So let's go down to Anethron. So he's got 2 pieces, the Don Alejandro's Money Belt and the Pillar of Ferocity. Now, Don Alejandro's is actually really solid. If you have belts of 100 deaths, you don't really want this. But if you are still waiting for this, you might want to pick this up until you get belts of 100 deaths. Yes, I still think you should continue to go for that. It is very good. But in the meantime, this one will probably be an upgrade for you. So I give it 3 stars. Pillar of Ferocity, decent mitigation. Now, if you've got the Merciless Gladiator Maul, that's going to be better. However, that's PvP, and a lot of people aren't going to have that. So you're going to go ahead and just grab this, and this is going to be your new upgrade. And you're going to use it for both Cat and for Bear. But if you can get the Maul, it's a better piece. So I only gave it 4 stars because technically there is an upgrade. Alright, now Khazragal, we've got the Razor Fury Mantle and the Black Featherlight Boots. The mantle has decent stats, but you'll be either wearing tier gear or shoulder pads as a stranger or something different, and they're definitely going to be better too because the stats are pretty decent, but there's not even a gem slot, so whatever. Black Featherlight Boots, bad, just pass. I only give this 1 star. You'll likely either be wearing some PvP boots or one of the 2 boots from Black Temple, the Shadowmaster boots or the Treads of the Den Mother you get from Trash, which both have uses where this one doesn't really fall into, I don't know, I guess maybe a threat tank with a hit, but it doesn't have any gems. It's not as flexible as either of the other pieces. Obviously, the other one's just pure mitigation, but yeah, I would just go ahead and pass on this. If you don't have anything to upgrade to, and you see these and they're an upgrade for what you currently have, grab them, but try to get the Black Temple boots instead, either one of them. Okay, Asgalar. So you've got the Shady Dealer's Pantaloons, and this is the first armor penetration piece we've seen so far. So I'm giving pretty much armor pen 3s across the board because they are worth getting, but they're not worth taking from a rogue or a hunter, excuse me. I'd still grab these if you're going to go for the armor pen set though, because eventually you're probably going to want to try out this armor pen. Archimonde. So all he has is the Midnight Chest Guard. He also technically has the helm, the tier helm. So it is worth noting that, but I already talked about that. You'll be wearing tier for this chest guard as well. So it does have a nice gem and nice hit. If you're doing something outside of tier, this might be worth grabbing, but I only give it 2 stars because, again, you'll be wearing tier. And then for Mount Hyjal, the last is the trash. So all we have is Pepe's Shroud of Pacification. Now, great stam and dodge. It doesn't have the armor for mitigation, and the hit isn't that great for threat. I mean, it's still hit. It's situational though. Maybe fighting elementals, as armor doesn't matter against them, and more HP is a better stat to have, particularly against non-physical damage dealers. But yeah, I only give it a 2 star because there are better cloaks. All right, Nagentis. This is Black Temple stuff. So yeah, we're starting at Nagentis. Mantle of Darkness. Nothing special here. You'll want tier over these. 1 star. Pretty much, that's the end of it. Let's do Supremacist now. 4 pieces here that we're talking about. We've got another chest. Again, 2 stars because the tier is going to be better for you with another Shadow Tunic. Then you've got the Choker of Endless Nightmares. Oh man, I put a lot of time into figuring out how I feel about this. So this is a very good DPS neck. However, it has 0 mitigation, like 0. It has no stamina, no agility, no armor, no it is nothing. If you are going for heavy threat, this is a good piece for you to grab. However, I don't think balance or mitigation tanks would want this. They're just better choices. So I put it as a 3. I could see you arguing a 4 or 5, but honestly, like, because it's mostly DPS, I would put this. I would still try to grab this maybe for a heavy threat set, or if you're doing a lot of catting, this would be something I would grab for your cat set. But I wouldn't stress too much about it for being a bear, especially if you're a mono bear. Okay, but again, your own opinion. The next thing up is Band of the Abyssal Lord. So it's a nice ring. It's situational, good for tanking non-physical damage. 50 stamina on a ring is crazy high. But this will not fall into your regular tank set. There's just too many better choices for either threat or just different types of mitigation. But I would, especially if you're not a non-PvPer looking for some defense, this might be a good choice because it does have that hit on there, which is going to help you if you're going heavy mitigation to at least generate more threat. But yeah, I only give it 2 stars. Okay, Idol of the White Stag. Now, go ahead and get this because it's Druid specific anyway. If you don't know what Totem Twisting is, essentially people are going to try to Totem Twist this where they're going to put this on, mangle, and then swap to the Raven Idol for 20 seconds. If you're not that sweaty, it's still a nice idol even for just soloing, but the Raven Idol is really solid too, so I only give it 4 stars because if you just stuck to the Raven Idol, you'd be fine. However, there is scenarios where this could be really helpful for your threat, especially if you are randomly put into a healer group where your leader of the pack isn't benefiting anybody. This is going to be better, 100%. Okay, but that's it for Supremacist. Let's go to Shade of Akama. So Shade's got the Shadow Walker's Cord and the Ring of Deceitful Intent. Now this is your first haste piece. If you haven't seen one yet, this is it. Improves haste by 37. So I'm going away from haste. Plus there's the Belt of 100 Deaths, which is going to be better anyway. So I would go ahead and just pass on this. But if you're going for the haste, this is one of the pieces you're looking for. The Ring of Deceitful Intent is actually a nicely statted ring. It's got the agi, it's got nice stamina, it's got hit rating. However, there are so many other rings out there. I only give this a 3 because you're probably going to be rocking Band of the Eternal Champion, Shapeshifter, maybe still using one of the mitigation rings for the defense cap. There's just too many rings. I wouldn't fight for this just because, yeah, you'll be sitting on like 10 rings already. Okay, so let's just drop down to Gurtok Bloodboil. He's got Unstoppable Aggressor's Ring, so I only give this 1 star. I know strength is still beneficial to bears, but honestly, like I just talked about, there are better rings. I just would pass on this. It's probably going to be taken by, I don't know, a physical damage dealer, maybe a warrior, but yeah, I wouldn't bother. And the other item is Shadowmoon Insignia. Now, I personally really want this thing. However, it is a situational ring, trinket. It has defense rating, very high defense rating on a trinket. It's got dodge rating, which is really good, and it has one of those increase your maximum health by 1750. Now, this is pure mitigation, obviously defense and dodge and boosting your health. However, if you're doing the meme of building out an avoidance set, this is the avoidance trinket you want. This is going to pair really well if you've got Morosa's Lucky Pocket Watch or other things like that, just because defense is going to give you dodge is going to give you dodge, and having that extra increase your maximum health is really nice. But again, it's very situational, so I'm only going to give it 3 stars. Okay, that's done with Blood Boil. Let's go down to Reliquary of the Lost. So we've got Grips of Damnation and Pendant of Titans. So Grips of Damnation, another haste piece here. Again, I'm just going to put it as a 2 because obviously I think the Expertise gloves are going to be better, either one of them. And I'm not a fan of haste. Plus, there's also tier pieces which are better. So yeah, I only give that 2 stars. Pendant of Titans. Lots of stam, defense, and dodge with some hit. Not horrible, but more mitigation than I usually go for with a neck. If you're a non-PvP, this is probably going to replace the Barb Choker as a direct upgrade. So if you are wearing the Barb Choker, this is just the upgraded version of it. If you're already using a threat neck or a PvP neck, you're probably just going to want to skip on this. However, it's decently statted. Okay, so now we're going to do... Next boss is Terran Gorefiend. So he's got 2 items, the Shadow Moon Destroyer's Drape. Now, the only reason I give it... There's not the only reason. Okay, probably the best threat cloak you can get right now. But it's probably going to be contested. It's... if you're a threat pumper, this is likely your upgrade. I only give it 4 stars because it's more of a DPS cloak. I know you're going to want this. Go ahead and get it, but I mean, the DPS is going to be fighting you for it as well. So, yeah, do whatever you got to do. And there are other cloaks. There's obviously a mitigation cloak you can wear too. Okay, and the other item, Insidious Bands, also 4 stars. Non-PvPers, these are your BIS bracers. If you're getting PvP bracers, these are a slight upgrade on threat, but they don't offer the balance the PvP bracers give you, so I'd still wear PvP bracers. However, if you are going away or if you're catting a lot, this is the one to grab. Go ahead and just pick it up. But yeah, 4 stars. Okay, next up is Mother Shiraz. Now, the only item for Mother Shiraz is the Shadow Master's boots. Really nice boots, double gem, great stats. Wish there was some hit, but whatever, no worries. But these are really good boots. These are the ones I'm going to be grabbing. So I give them 5 stars because they are pretty much an upgrade to Edgewalkers if that's what you're wearing. So I would definitely pick these up really quick. Again, missing the hit, but other than that. Let's move down to Illidari Council. So Madness of the Betrayer, it does have an armor pen, sort of. It's a chance at armor pen, essentially. So this is the best threat trinket you can get right now. It'll likely be contested by all the DPS that are doing armor pen sets. But if you're looking to upgrade Brooch, this is a nice way to do it. I'm actually going to go 5 because it is a very nice trinket. The chances of you getting it are probably a little bit lower than you would want. But you never know, they might pry out you. We'll see. Okay, but that was the only item there, so let's drop down to Illidan Stormrage. Okay, so we've got Cursed Vision of Sargeras and Stormrage Signet Ring. Now, the Cursed Vision looks cool. I know that has no value towards actually using it, but it's like the blindfold on people, so if you're like a night elf, it looks pretty cool. Anyway, great item, but you'll also have Tear Helm or Wolf's Head, so you're probably not going to wear this. We are getting closer and closer to not having to wear Wolf's Head because the stats are getting better and better. I don't think we're there yet. I wouldn't grab this, but it's still 3 stars because it is a decent piece. Stormrage Signet Ring, I give 3 stars as well. It's got the armor pen on it. That's pretty much why. It's actually a nice ring with armor pen. And that's, 3 stars. Okay, and that is it for bosses. Now we've just got the trash. So we have Treads of the Dead Mother. If you're wearing Boots of Natural Grace, this is the upgrade to it. Great mitigation boots and obviously made for bears. You'll get them first anyway. I give it 4 stars because it is still only mitigation. The other items are Choker of the Serrated Blades and Band of Devastation. So Choker is another armor pen neck. So again, if you're doing the armor pen route, this is where you grab it. And Band of Devastation is the haste ring. So if you're going haste, this is it. And it's got some decent HP on it for a ring, so keep that in mind. The only thing left are patterns. There are only 2 patterns that are worth discussing, and that's a pattern... the Swift Strike Bracers and the Swift Strike Shoulders. Now, these are haste, so I put them as 2 stars, but if you're going haste, this is what you'd pick up. So, you know, if that's what you're going for. There are a lot of patterns in Black Temple and Mount Hyjal, but there's only 2 that actually affect ferals. So, and these are them, and they're both haste. Anyway, but that's it. That's all the gear we wanted to talk about. I hope I covered everything. If I missed something, please let me know. If you have any questions or comments, or if you disagree with one of my ratings or choices or whatever, feel free to put it in the comments. If you like this kind of content, feel free to subscribe as I'm putting out content all the time. And as always, guys, take care.